Rikers Island, America's most controversial jail. The island sits in the middle of the water, close enough to see the skyline of New York City, but far enough to feel forgotten. From the highway, drivers pass without slowing down. Planes fly overhead every few minutes on their way to LaGuardia Airport. Beneath that noise, behind layers of fencing and concrete, thousands of people wake up inside a place that has become one of the most debated jails in America. Rikers Island is not a prison where people serve long sentences after conviction. It is a jail. Most of the people here are waiting for court, waiting for bail, waiting for a decision that could change their lives. Some will leave in weeks. Others will stay for months, sometimes years, without being found guilty of a crime. Over time, Rikers has become more than a jail. It has become a symbol. For some, it represents public safety in a city of millions. For others, it represents a system under pressure, struggling with violence, staffing shortages, mental health crises, and political promises to close it down. This is not the story of one case. It is not about one headline. It is about how a modern jail operates every day and what happens to the people who live and work inside it long after the cameras leave. What does justice look like on an island surrounded by water? And what does it feel like to wake up there? Behind these walls, the story continues. Subscribe, like, share, and comment to follow what happens next. Arrival. The journey to Rikers Island begins long before a person sees the water. It starts in a precinct holding cell or in a courthouse basement where defendants wait in chains for transportation. The air is cold, the benches are metal, and time moves slowly as paperwork is processed. When the transport bus finally arrives, people are called one by one. Wrists are secured. Belongings are sealed in plastic bags. The bus doors close with a heavy sound that feels final, even though legally nothing has been decided yet. The ride across the bridge to Rikers Island is quiet. Through small reinforced windows, the city skyline fades into the distance. Some men stare down at the floor. Others look out at the water. No one knows how long they will stay. At the intake building, bright fluorescent lights wash over tired faces. Officers move people through metal detectors and pat-down searches. Shoes are removed. Belts are taken. Identity becomes a number in a computer system that tracks housing, charges, and court dates. Fingerprints are scanned. Mugshots are taken against a blank wall. Medical staff ask about medications, mental health history, and past injuries. The questions move quickly, but the answers can shape where someone is placed and how they are treated. Rikers processes thousands of admissions every year. Some people arrive on low-level charges. Others face serious accusations. In this building, the system does not separate guilt from innocence. It separates by risk level, housing needs, and available beds. After hours of processing, a person is issued jail clothing. The fabric is stiff. The color is plain. Personal clothes are stored away. A simple mattress and blanket wait in a housing unit somewhere deeper inside the complex. Housing on Rikers is divided into different facilities, each with its own layout and level of security. Some units are dorm-style rooms filled with rows of bunks. Others are two-person cells with solid doors and narrow windows. In a dorm unit, dozens of men sleep in one large room under constant light. Officers sit at a desk near the entrance, watching. Cameras cover most angles. There is little privacy. Conversations echo late into the night. In a cell unit, two people share a small concrete space. A metal toilet sits in the open. A thin mattress rests on a steel frame. The door shuts with a heavy click, and the hallway noise becomes distant but never silent. The first count happens quickly. Officers walk through the unit, checking each person against a list. This will happen many times a day. Morning count, afternoon count, night count. Movement stops until every person is accounted for. Meals arrive on trays pushed through carts. Breakfast may include oatmeal, fruit, and bread. Lunch and dinner rotate between basic items that meet nutritional standards but rarely offer comfort. For many, eating is less about taste and more about routine. Phone time is limited and often shared. Calls are short. Voices echo across the day room as people speak to mothers, partners, or children. Some conversations bring relief. Others bring news that adds pressure to an already heavy mind. Court dates shape everything. A man may wake up at 4 in the morning to prepare for transport back to court. He waits in holding pens for hours, hoping for bail reduction, a plea offer, or simply a new date. For those who cannot afford bail, time stretches. Each adjournment means more days inside. Even if the charge is minor, the wait can feel endless. Jobs are lost. Apartments are given up. Families adjust to absence. Rikers also houses many people with serious mental health needs. Specialized units exist, staffed by medical professionals and correction officers trained to respond to crisis. But the demand often exceeds the space available. In these units, therapy sessions are scheduled. Medication lines form each day. Some men speak openly about anxiety and depression. Others sit quietly, struggling in silence under constant noise and confinement. Violence is a concern that shapes policy and daily life. Fights can break out over small disagreements. Tension builds in crowded spaces where personal space is limited and stress runs high. Officers respond to alarms, separating individuals and filing reports. Investigations follow. Housing assignments may change. Some people are placed in restrictive units for safety or discipline. Staffing shortages have affected daily operations in recent years. When not enough officers report for duty, movement slows. Recreation time may be canceled. Program access becomes limited. Lockdowns can last longer than planned. During lockdown, people remain inside their housing areas for most of the day. Frustration grows. Without fresh air or regular programming, time feels heavier. The sound of metal doors closing becomes constant. Yet within this system, small routines form. Some men wake early to exercise beside their bunks. Others read books from the limited library carts. A few sign up for educational programs, studying for a high school equivalency diploma. Work assignments exist inside the jail. Certain individuals clean housing areas, serve meals, or assist in laundry rooms. The pay is small, but the routine offers structure and a sense of purpose. For younger detainees, there are units designed to separate them from older populations. The goal is to reduce harm and provide age-appropriate services. Whether that goal is met depends on resources and daily realities. Outside the fences, city leaders debate the future of Rikers Island. Plans have been announced to close the complex and replace it with smaller borough-based jails. Deadlines have been set, then questioned. Construction timelines stretch. Inside, those debates feel distant. What matters more is the next count, the next meal, the next court date. Policy changes move slowly compared to the speed of daily stress. As night falls over the island, the city lights glow across the water. From some housing units, the skyline is visible through narrow windows. It looks close enough to touch. Inside the dorms and cells, men lie awake on thin mattresses. Some replay the events that brought them here. Some think about families waiting at home. Others stare at the ceiling, counting days that have not yet passed. Rikers Island does not sleep completely. Officers walk the corridors. Cameras continue recording. Medical teams respond to calls. The system keeps running, hour by hour. On an island surrounded by water, people wait for decisions made in courtrooms miles away. And by morning, the counts will begin again. Daily life inside the island. Morning on Rikers Island begins before the sun fully rises over the water. Fluorescent lights flick on inside the housing units, cutting through whatever sleep managed to come during the night. Officers move through the dorms and cell corridors calling for count. Names are checked against printed lists and digital tablets. Every person must be visible, standing or sitting upright, confirming their presence. Some men move slowly, still adjusting to the noise and routine. Others are already awake, having learned that mornings come early and without warning. Breakfast trays roll in on metal carts. The smell of oatmeal, bread, and weak coffee fills the room. People line up in controlled order, supervised closely, returning to their bunks or tables to eat. Conversations are quiet at first. Mornings are heavy with thought. Court dates may be scheduled. Lawyers may visit, or nothing may happen at all. After breakfast, housing units begin movement. Those with scheduled court appearances are called first. They gather their paperwork and wait to be escorted to transport. Others prepare for work assignments inside the facility. Some sweep floors and wipe down tables in the housing area. Some report to laundry services, where uniforms and linens move through industrial machines all day. The laundry room is loud and humid. Steam rises from metal doors as loads cycle through. For a few hours, routine replaces uncertainty. In another building, kitchen workers prepare meals for thousands of detainees. Large trays move along stainless steel counters. Portions are measured carefully to meet nutritional guidelines. Education programs operate in designated classrooms when staffing allows. Whiteboards display simple lessons in math or reading. Some men sit with notebooks open, determined to leave with a diploma or certificate. For those enrolled in vocational training, there are workshops focused on skills like building maintenance or basic trade work. The tools are controlled. The environment is supervised. But the lessons are real. In the mental health units, therapy sessions begin mid-morning. Counselors sit across from detainees in small rooms with cameras mounted in the corners. Conversations focus on coping skills, trauma, and decision-making. Medication lines form at set times. Nurses call names one by one. Cups of prescribed medication are handed through secure openings. Compliance is recorded carefully. Recreation periods are scheduled in rotations. When movement is approved, groups are escorted to enclosed yards surrounded by high fencing and razor wire. In the yard, some men walk in circles, talking in low voices. Others lift their bodies against metal bars, counting repetitions as a way to measure progress. Above them, planes descend toward LaGuardia Airport. The sound reminds everyone that the outside world continues moving at full speed. Back inside, tensions sometimes rise. Crowded spaces and long waits can turn small disagreements into larger conflicts. Officers watch body language closely, stepping in before situations escalate. If a fight breaks out, alarms echo down the corridor. Response teams move quickly to separate those involved. Medical staff check for injuries. Reports are written. Housing changes may follow. Disciplinary units exist for rule violations. These areas are quieter, more restricted. Movement is limited. Personal time shrinks even further. For many detainees, the hardest part of daily life is uncertainty. Court delays stretch cases out. Public defenders manage heavy caseloads. Each postponement feels like another weight added to the day. Phone calls become lifelines. Men line up to use wall-mounted phones, holding receivers close to block out noise. Conversations are timed and monitored. Family members outside struggle in their own ways. Missed work, child care adjustments, and travel to the island for visits create new pressures. Visitation rooms are divided by glass. Hands press against transparent barriers. Words travel through telephones instead of open air. Legal visits take place in separate rooms where attorneys review paperwork and explain options. Plea deals, trial dates, and bail hearings are discussed under strict time limits. For those unable to afford bail, the math becomes personal. Days inside may equal weeks lost outside. Employment can disappear. Housing can be lost. Afternoons often slow down. After lunch, housing units return to a steady rhythm of waiting. Some men read books from shared carts. Others write letters or journal entries. Televisions mounted high on the wall play news or sports. Stories about the city move across the screen, sometimes mentioning the jail itself. Inside mental health observation units, staff conduct regular wellness checks. Individuals at risk are monitored more closely, with scheduled rounds documented carefully. Staffing challenges affect how smoothly these routines unfold. When fewer officers are available, movement may be delayed. Recreation may be shortened. Units may remain locked down longer than expected. During extended lockdowns, frustration grows. Without access to programs or fresh air, people pace between bunks or sit quietly staring at walls. Evening count comes as daylight fades. Officers repeat the process, ensuring every individual is accounted for before dinner is served. Dinner trays arrive with simple meals. Conversations pick up slightly as the day nears its end. Some discuss their cases. Others speak about families or future plans. As night approaches, medication lines form again. Lights dim but do not fully turn off. Security cameras continue recording every corner. In the quieter hours, reflection becomes unavoidable. Some men replay mistakes in their minds. Others focus on small goals, like completing a class or staying out of conflict. Officers complete paperwork at desks near the unit entrance. Incident reports, medical notes, and movement logs are entered into digital systems that track each day. Rikers Island operates like a machine built on schedules, supervision, and documentation. Yet within that structure, human emotion fills every space. By midnight, most units are silent except for distant footsteps and the occasional call over a radio. Beyond the fences, the city skyline still glows. On this island, surrounded by water and debate, daily life continues in cycles of count, movement, and waiting. And as the system keeps turning, the question grows heavier. What happens to a person when waiting becomes their entire world? Pressure, reform, and the future of the island. By the time someone has spent weeks or months on Rikers Island, the routine is no longer shocking. It becomes normal. The sounds, the counts, the locked doors all blend into the background of daily survival. But outside the fences, pressure has been building for years. Reports, lawsuits, investigations, and public hearings have placed the jail at the center of national debate. City officials have stood at podiums promising change. Advocacy groups have called for closure. Families of detainees have demanded safer conditions. Correction officers' unions have warned about staffing and safety concerns. Inside the housing units, those debates feel distant, but their impact is real. Policy changes begin as paperwork and end as daily adjustments in how people live. In recent years, population numbers have dropped compared to past decades. Bail reform laws and policy shifts have reduced the number of people held on lower-level charges. Yet the people who remain often face more serious allegations or complex cases. The environment can feel more tense, with higher needs and fewer resources stretched across fewer staff. Federal monitors now oversee parts of the jail's operations. Compliance reports track use of force, safety measures, and mental health services. Every incident is documented, reviewed, and measured. Officers attend additional training sessions focused on de-escalation and crisis response. Cameras have expanded in coverage. Body-worn technology is discussed as part of accountability efforts. For detainees, some of these changes are visible. More structured programming is introduced when staffing allows. Mental health screenings are conducted earlier during intake. Specialized units attempt to separate vulnerable individuals from general population areas. The goal is to reduce harm before it begins. Still, challenges remain. When officers call out sick in large numbers, housing units may operate on emergency staffing levels. Movement slows. Frustration builds on both sides of the bars. On some days, entire sections of the jail operate under modified schedules. Recreation is shortened. Program rooms sit empty because there are not enough escorts. In those moments, the island feels heavier. Not because of one event, but because of accumulated pressure. For the men inside, time continues moving at the same pace. Court dates arrive and are postponed. Lawyers negotiate. Judges weigh options. Some individuals accept plea agreements to shorten their stay, even if it means a criminal record that will follow them for years. The choice is rarely simple. Others fight their cases, holding on to the hope of dismissal or acquittal. Each court appearance carries emotional weight. Meanwhile, families outside track every development. They check online court systems. They answer collect calls. They visit when they can. Children grow older while fathers wait behind concrete walls. Partners carry financial responsibilities alone. The strain reaches beyond the island. Inside classrooms, a small group studies for exams that could change their future. Earning a diploma while detained becomes a quiet form of resistance against wasted time. In counseling rooms, conversations turn toward accountability. Not just legal responsibility, but personal reflection. How did decisions lead here? What changes are possible? For some, the island becomes a turning point. The structure and forced pause offer space to think differently. For others, the experience deepens distrust in a system they already viewed as unfair. The line between punishment and pretrial detention feels blurred. Public officials continue to debate closing Rikers and replacing it with smaller borough-based facilities. Construction plans are drawn. Budgets are approved and questioned. Deadlines have been announced, then pushed back. The island remains open, operating day after day while long-term plans move slowly through bureaucracy. Correction officers also feel the strain. Long shifts, public scrutiny, and safety concerns shape their daily work. Some speak about burnout. Others defend their role as necessary for order. Medical staff navigate crowded caseloads. Social workers attempt to stabilize individuals in crisis. Every department carries its own pressures. As reforms unfold, transparency increases. Data is published online. Oversight committees review numbers. Media outlets report on progress and setbacks. Yet statistics cannot fully show what it feels like to sleep under constant light or to wait for a court decision that controls your future. At night, when the housing units quiet down, some men think about the possibility of release. They imagine walking across that bridge in the opposite direction. Release does come for many. Paperwork is processed. Property bags are returned. A final count is completed before the gate opens. Stepping off the island can feel unreal. The city noise is louder. The air smells different. But the experience does not disappear when the bridge is crossed. A short stay on Rikers can leave lasting marks. Missed rent, lost jobs, strained relationships, and emotional stress follow people back into their neighborhoods. For those who remain inside, the cycle continues. Count after count, meal after meal, court date after court date. The island still stands between the boroughs, surrounded by water and guarded by concrete. Its future is debated in meeting rooms and campaign speeches. But tonight, inside the housing units, men lie awake beneath dim lights, listening to distant footsteps in the corridor. Rikers Island is more than a headline or a political promise. It is a system operating in real time, shaping lives every single day. And as long as it remains open, the question continues to echo across the water. What does justice truly look like when waiting becomes the punishment? Beyond the island, the bridge leading off Rikers Island looks ordinary in the daylight. Cars pass, trucks move in and out. From a distance, it does not look like the path between confinement and freedom. But for the people who cross it in handcuffs or walk back across it after release, that bridge carries weight. Rikers Island was built to hold people temporarily, to keep them secure while the courts decide their future. Over time, it became something larger in the public mind, a symbol of how a city handles crime, poverty, mental illness, and accountability. Inside its walls, daily life is built around counts, schedules, and supervision. Meals are served on time. Names are recorded. Movements are logged. The system runs on procedure. Yet no procedure can fully measure fear, regret, hope, or frustration. Those emotions live in the quiet hours, when the lights dim but never fully go dark. For some, time on the island becomes a warning sign, a moment that forces change. For others, it becomes a scar that follows them long after release. Outside the fences, debate continues. Plans to close Rikers move forward slowly. New facilities are designed. Policies are rewritten. Oversight increases. But reform on paper does not instantly change lived experience. Real change happens in small details, in staffing levels, in mental health care, in court speed, in how people are treated during their lowest moments. Justice is often discussed in courtrooms and political speeches. On Rikers Island, it is felt in waiting rooms, housing units, and visitation booths. The skyline of New York shines brightly across the water each night, close enough to see from certain windows. For those inside, that skyline represents possibility. For those outside, it is easy to forget the island even exists. But systems like this do not operate in isolation. They reflect the choices of communities, lawmakers, and voters. Rikers Island forces a difficult question, not just about safety, but about fairness, dignity, and responsibility. What does a city owe to the people it detains before they are proven guilty? What does accountability look like when combined with humanity? As long as the island remains open, these questions remain unanswered. And long after the headlines fade, the lights on Rikers will still turn on before sunrise, and the counts will begin again.